Hello.
Hi, darling.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice. We've got friends visiting, haven't we?
We have. So if you hear some adorable,
The most perfect baby in the world gurgling.
oh my God, amazing baby squawking and gurgling and babbling, that is why, and count yourself as privileged.
Yes.
Quite frankly.
It's an honour and a privilege
It really is.
to know this baby.
We are going to talk about episodes 13 and 14.
We are.
The commitment ceremony and the first wedding of the new couples.
Oh my God. Well,
I was
one
not,
new couple.
I was not prepared for that when I was in my bed like this,
Yeah.
scrolling, and then I was like, what?
There's a new couple?
And then I saw Elliot and Lauren showing up in the new selection.
Ridiculous.
Very strange.
It was barely a wedding.
I know. I'm afraid I've got one note, which is just their names.
Yeah. I actually think that's the same as me. Except
They seem lovely, but
I am a fan of Grindian.
Yeah.
Because he's Greek and Indian. Very cool. He referred to himself as Grindian. I like that. Anyway, irrelevant to episode 13. So
Episode 13 was a rich text.
it was.
There was a lot going on, and
there
the
really
experts were pulling their weight.
They were earning their salary.
Yeah, all, especially John and Alessandra, actually.
I mean, should we just start with Jacqui and Ryan?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And in the words of Jamie, they're freaking bonkers. Which is, you couldn't be more apt than that.
I think it was
out of this world.
It's really unbelievable. I think I found it quite satisfying / comforting seeing the experts like react to them, because I don't know, it's almost like when you're watching, you're like, is anyone seeing this? Is anyone seeing how mad this is?
Yeah.
And then they kind of were able to come in and be like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's not just being shown to us in a way to make us think that they're completely bonkers. Like, they were also, them and all of the other participants were completely baffled by everything that's going on with Jacqui and Ryan.
I've just never seen anyone like this on TV.
Me neither.
They're absolutely bizarre.
It does make it so watchable.
It's incredible that they found them.
Because you're so right. Like, it's not the kind of dramatic character that you have had in many other series who are just kind of like argumentative or loud or get into fights. Like, it's a completely different kind of intriguing and absolutely insane.
Just full of lies. So much lying. Lying to themselves, lying to each other, lying to everyone else. And I'm just so perplexed.
I know. Last episode, I was convinced that they'd made some plot together.
Were you?
Well, I think we spoke about it.
Yeah. I thought you meant the last episode. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Oh no, last episode of the podcast.
I see.
That they'd planned how to come into the dinner party together. But now seeing these two episodes and seeing how actually baffled Ryan is by Jacqui, I'm like, I don't think they couldn't bloody organise a piss up in a brewery, could they?
I know. I'm finding it so difficult. And so there's all those weird photos around the house of them.
Oh my God.
They've got the Polaroids everywhere. So it's like they're acting like a couple.
Oh my God.
In some ways, or trying to keep up appearance like they are. I don't know.
It's almost like they, out of everyone there, even like Paul and Karina, they've almost taken the experiment the most seriously out of everyone, in terms of like, well, we're married now, but we might not even like each other, but we are. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of like, when Jackie's crying and saying, you should be doing this because you made these vows to me, it's like they actually believe that they are stuck in this. I don't know, it's so weird.
It's so bizarre. That's all I can say. I'm just trying to think of like a hot take, but they just do enough a hot taking themselves by just existing.
Well, there was so the commitment ceremony was Ryan heavy. The wedding was Jacqui heavy. Should we start with the most worrying Ryan aspects?
Please.
Most worrying of all, him crying when he spoke about his future son.
My future son?
Saying, I'll be there for something like, I'll be there for my kids. I will, because she was saying, like, you're not going to show up for your kid, you're not going to be
she said,
trustworthy.
I don't need validation, I'm happy with how I look, but I'm thinking of my children.
What the hell?
What are you talking about?
This is the second time she's actually, this is weird, this is the second time she's compared a like a familial relative relationship
Oh my God.
to a romantic relationship, because she said, Ryan, how would you rate your sister?
Yeah.
And now she's saying like that he would need to be rating his kids in some way. It's like,
oh dear,
you are literally a stranger that he didn't know. Like he's not necessarily going to be the most attracted to you in the world. Yes, he should have lied about it. That's another subject.
We've established that. But
this has nothing to do with children, that he would literally would be part of his like his future children are a completely different topic.
Why did he cry? He said, you're going to get that validation from me. And then he said, especially my son.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with you?
That is just
why especially your son?
All the proof we needed
of the manosphere.
Yeah.
Being involved, having a play. But the thing is that, like, even if he's a pretty shit manosphere man, because he says, like, as a man I know how to treat a woman, which he literally says that verbatim at the beginning of the episode. But the amount of times that Jacqui has to tell him, buy her flowers, like, these things are so simple. You're not you're not giving anything to anyone by saying.
But manosphere men don't actually know how to treat a woman, do they?
Oh yeah, that's true.
They just say stuff to each other.
But I'm just thinking something as simple as, like, giving the jacket to Jacqui.
Yeah.
That would have been a gesture that requires no effort, that makes you look like you're doing something, and therefore you can be manipulative.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing about him, is he does seem to be following a kind of regimental manosphere way of viewing the world, but he's missed out the, like, chivalry bit, of course.
Yeah. So, and I wonder how much the chivalry...
Well, actually, I feel like this kind of way of looking at gender that he's obviously ascribed to would say that the men should just compliment women all the time and should, you know, be chivalrous and do all of these kind of hyper masculine things. But then they also, in an incel-y way, say, well, the woman has to deserve it by showing that she's done so and so.
By cooking for me or cleaning for me.
So he's always like, well, I haven't given you flowers yet because you weren't doing enough of blah-de-blah-de-blah.
Yeah.
So there's this kind of, like,
transactional
underneath, you're probably shit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kind of punish you and saying you should show enough self-development and you should show enough, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's got to earn it as a woman.
Yeah.
But that is the constant problem with which I think we spoke about this with Elliot and Lauren early on, that if it's all conditional, then it doesn't work. Whereas if you're saying that you have a man's role and a woman's role, then it shouldn't be conditional. We don't agree with it, but I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to make it conditional because it makes it impossible for it to work.
Yeah, it all collapses in on itself.
Exactly. And then they had, like, the moments where they were talking about, like, because the experts were just completely baffled and like, we need to understand where you're coming from. What are you telling us you don't have in common? And Jacqui said, like, I read non-fiction and Ryan reads fiction, and Ryan watches TV and I watch documentaries. And they were just like, what? Shut up. Everyone was just like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? That's got nothing to do with your compatibility.
What you read on your own.
Yeah.
Like, that is so weird.
Like, what, reading on your own?
No, so weird that she would use that as a reason for them being incompatible.
Completely mad.
She needs to go out with someone who reads books, because bloody hell. You can't just have two people who only read non-fiction and that's all they talk about every day.
Oh, so it's a good thing. I mean, there's so many layers to them being a good match because they're both insane. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he wants to be the one that steers the relationship, but she is definitely going to be the one.
Yeah.
Because she's, as we've seen, she knows how to manipulate. I don't know. It's all just so bizarre.
Should we talk about them at the wedding then?
Yeah, go on then.
So she wrote out her list, or I can't remember what he kept referring it to it as a rap or something.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. Anyway.
Of all the things she was pissed off about.
I mean, it is crazy. That moment where she brought up the drop.
Oh my God.
And then she started crying and said, you didn't ask me. I had to go and see a paramedic and you didn't even say sorry or ask me if I was okay. I'm sorry, but, like, we all saw that happened loads. He kept trying to be like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm fine. And she was, like, laughing and having a great time.
I know.
The producers asked her if she wanted
she pissed off
Maybe
with him?
Maybe it was because the producers asked her if she wanted a paramedic, not him.
Yeah.
Why would she need a paramedic?
It's not that she doesn't have any reason to be annoyed.
Yeah.
It's just that she literally wasn't annoyed then.
Yeah. And now she's just
now she's saying she
decided
is.
Yeah. And I completely agree with Jamie when she said that they are the most compatible couple in the experiment. I love that. It's so true.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered one of the really bad things he said at the commitment ceremony when they were talking about the ranking challenge, and
oh yes,
Jamie said, "Oh, that would just be a no-go for me if someone didn't rank me first, blah blah blah. It would haunt me for the rest of our relationship." And then Dave was like, "You just need to make her feel special every single day." And he was like, "Special, yes, but the question was beautiful." But
you had
it
an
was
interesting
so...
point. You said to me when we were watching it that like there is maybe he is autistic because he's taking everything very literally.
I think when I saw that, I was like, oh, definitely, because a couple of people have messaged about this, and it's always troubling. Well, it's troubling for me as someone who thinks I'm on the spectrum to see someone who seems like a bad person.
Well, the people who have been people have messaged us and said are autistic are Ryan and Elliot, both of whom we really disagree with what they're doing, and we don't want to be criticizing their actions, like if they come from a place of like neurodivergence. But
yeah,
you can still be a bad person and they're still doing bad things. So I guess, but that's why we criticize.
Me and Josh Kylemore were chatting about a book that Josh recommended about autism, was talking about how autistic people can be more prone to being drawn into cults, which surprised me at first because I always think of myself as, like, obviously everyone's different. I think of myself as very suspicious and questioning.
But I just think that's because of your own personal circumstances. I don't think that's got anything to do with your neurodivergence.
No, but it is an autistic trait to look inside for meaning rather than to follow status quo. But on the other hand, it does make sense if, maybe also as a result of being autistic, you were alienated as a young person.
Yeah,
you're looking for a system to follow that means community.
Yeah,
and cults are driven by like black and white thinking, systems that you can understand, repetitive behaviours.
That makes sense for an autistic person to
for
follow
some
that.
I guess.
Yeah.
For him, it seems like he's just such a bullied boy who has, not to excuse the terrible things that he's probably involved himself in, well, just the misogynistic things we're just all like assuming that he is on Andrew Tate, watching Andrew Tate videos every day.
Why would you be like that if you weren't?
Yeah, all the hallmarks are there.
Women, I mean, obviously Jacqui is objectively,
oh my god,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
but like before she even does that, when she's being calm and collected, he's still flipping off.
Yeah.
Flipping off anyway.
So it's just all interesting, isn't it? He's gone down a dodgy path because I think he's a bit lost and doesn't know how to be himself in social situations.
That's everything that comes with the manosphere, and I hate the word manosphere, I keep saying it, but you know what I mean, like all of that stuff.
Is it because it makes it sound like a bit cool?
No,
manosphere.
I don't think it's that. I think it makes it sound old.
It
makes it sound like
makes you sound old?
It makes me sound old.
Yeah,
makes me sound like a millennial.
I know what you mean. We are going to get old though, babe.
We're on our way.
That time when we spoke to those young people and they were like, you use WhatsApp. Like,
who was that?
Nobody uses WhatsApp.
Did they say nobody uses WhatsApp?
Do you remember?
No.
I was amazed by it.
I've blocked
they
it
were
out.
like, no, young people don't use never use WhatsApp. That's an old person thing. Amazing.
Brutal. It's like Facebook Messenger. Well, it's all the same thing, isn't it? Anyway, so that's cuckoo. Should we talk about them a bit more at the wedding?
Yes.
So Jacqui was saying how she's come in there to be the most, what should she say, most romantic wifey any man has ever seen. You can't get better than me.
Oh my God. And you can see she really thinks that's true.
I mean, also good for her. If she actually thinks that, that's amazing.
But have a bit of balance.
No, that level of delusion is like credit to her, because that's unbelievable.
Oh
That is wild to believe that about yourself.
It really is.
I'm sorry, I don't even have any words. But then when he literally said to her, I'm frankly disgusted by you. When they
that
sat
was
down,
really autistic to me as well.
Yes.
Because it was like,
and he kept
I must say a word that expresses my furiousness.
He said it multiple times as well. I am frankly disgusted.
But he can't quite express it and it doesn't work. It just doesn't do anything.
Hit.
Yeah, it doesn't hit. And she just gets more like kind of stroppy, like, oh my God, it's mad. I love that he pointed out that she used different fonts in the list that she made. That she literally formatted it on her laptop.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane.
And so she just wanted to make an argument out of nothing and obviously make the wedding about herself. They made such a fuss in front of all of these people. Like Jamie even went over and tried to talk to her, which blew my mind, and then said that her nipples were even tired of having this conversation, which I thought was really funny. There's just so many layers. She messaged Jeff.
Oh my God. What the hell?
She really thought. She
wants some of that corporate energy that Jeff is exuding.
Oh my God.
But
and
he's
also,
just like,
apologies,
no.
we said, well, it says he's an electrician on his like bio when it comes up. But
then we discover he's a CEO.
He's a CEO, so don't know, electric CEO.
CEO of an electrician company.
Yeah, which is very impressive. So sorry if we, brought down his accolades.
No, but I knew that he seemed like he's had some.
He's been on some
training.
team building exercises and some stand in front of the mirror with your hands on your hips.
Yes.
Things. Yeah.
Definitely. Watched a lot of TED Talks.
That's it. TED Talks. Yeah.
Maybe they could just read non-fiction books together and watch TED Talks next to each other.
No.
No one. He's empathetic.
He is. We've established that.
People are loving him. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So,
and then she was crying and she said, "Can't you see I'm crying? I'm upset. Why aren't you apologising?
Why aren't you apologising to me? What the fuck for, me love?" The turning on the crying, we've never seen it more apt than when she just decided to turn it off when Athena came over.
Oh my God.
That was psychopathic.
That was crazy.
I loved that. And I loved that everyone was just telling her that she was deflecting. And she just ran away. It was just amazing. They can't stay any longer, can they?
I think they'll go all the way to the end.
Oh my God. Also, I'm liking seeing Rhee get emotional in the past couple of episodes. She got really pissed off with Morena in the episode before.
Oh yeah.
Because
she'd been nice to her and then she was...
Morena was saying, everyone in that room was against me.
Yeah.
And Rhee was like, I actually wasn't. Even though the things that she's getting annoyed about are like kind of, I want to say trivial, but the Jeff thing isn't. It's just fun to see her a bit animated. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying her input a bit more.
Yeah. You could tell that she like obviously wasn't threatened by Jacqui at all. Because if she was, she would have like kind of flown into a fury probably.
Well, Jeff wouldn't have told her as well. Jeff told her as soon as it happened.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen like that, it could have been different and she might have flown into a fury about it.
Yeah, but I'm glad that she still brought it up anyway, just on principle, because everyone was sitting around watching her spout all of this rubbish and dominate the night.
Yeah.
And yeah, she got a bit of drink down her, got her cheeks pink.
Yeah.
And then said it. And Jacqui just looked so guilty.
Yeah. And then she said that she was staring at her really evil.
Yeah.
And then
Jeff was defended her.
Oh my God, I've also just remembered that Jacqui said that she didn't make the list.
Yeah.
What
the hell?
See,
I can't believe.
Easy. He can just say bullshit and then everyone believes him.
It's on camera.
It's on the telly.
And she spent so long talking about how happy she was that he bought flowers for her. And then the next day put on the list, you didn't buy me flowers for 3 weeks. What the hell? What is going on? But I want to keep watching.
Me too. I need to know more. On the walk today, we sat down on some grass and there were stinging nettles. And it went through my trousers and stung my bum.
Oh,
and stung
your bum?
I went down on my hand and I was on my bum and then I was like, ow! And then I went on my hand and I was like, ow! And then so my bum cheek, I can still feel it.
Have they gone welty?
Not especially, no.
So it's just plain grass that makes you welty. Not even stinging.
Yeah, I know.
Oh dear.
I'm allergic to wet grass. Anyway, so should we get Tony and Morena out of the way? Because like that was quite a big impact.
It was a big episode for them. Yeah.
And then they haven't really been around, apart from Tony in his lovely little butterfly jacket. But anyway.
So Tony came in. I'm liking him more and more. He came in trying to say, I know we had a hard night last night. She said, we didn't have a hard night. I had a hard night last night.
God.
Horrid.
Yeah.
Horrid. But the experts were not buying it.
They absolutely ripped her apart. It was like not in a they just told her what was happening, and it was good. And she was like, no one's ever told me that I'm like that before. Because as if you could, as if there was any other situation where you could tell that woman. Jamie knew that. Because do you remember when everyone, oh my God, she said, Tony's like Houdini. And then everyone pissed themselves and she was like,
that was terrifying.
She looked like a terrifying dinosaur. I thought she was going to bite someone.
It was so scary.
It was so scary.
She can't use being Italian as an excuse for that. Yes, I agree. Because she did for the hand gestures.
People do that. Like, do you remember before that someone said, I'm Spanish?
Yeah.
Like a few years ago. And it's like, you can't use that as a reason for like being an asshole.
It was that one that had an affair, I think.
Yeah, it was.
I think that was like the best expert intervention that I saw, because it was actually giving her really... It was like proper couples therapy that was giving her
a proper session.
Actual points to work on.
Yes.
Not that I'm sure it will sink in. She says she is going to bear it in mind. Like, I think she's realised it doesn't mean that I'm bad, but it means I'm being received in a negative way if I point at people.
And I mean, it was amazing that she said 80% of the problems are coming from Tony. And I think that was her being generous. Like, I think she assumed it was
she was like
100.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And she was just, you could see her saying it and thinking, isn't this obvious? And then it dawning on her.
Yeah. It was brutal, but like, it
very
was deserved
needed.
And needed, yeah. And Tony is still there, which if actions speak louder than words, as they all fucking say, then those actions are quite big.
Yeah.
He's still there, because I would have fucked off. I would have said, see ya.
We'll see how much Tony time he keeps having.
Tony time.
He needs a bit of Tony time.
We've said this before, yeah, of course he needs Tony time to an extent.
Yeah.
Like, he's a single man in his fucking 50s. Like, he needs to go and chill out and have space away from this absolute mad woman.
Adrian.
Oh, Christ.
And Athena.
Come on, then.
So there was some absolutely infuriating scenes
Before
at their
they went
house
to the commitment ceremony.
Before they went to the commitment ceremony, where she was, again, literally just asking him to take the bin out.
For God's sake.
And do the most minuscule of things. And he was really gaslighting her and being like, yeah, but can't tell me what I can do. And she was like, I told you this one thing you can do, take the bin out. Yeah, but I don't care about that stuff. Tell me something that's not a house duty that I can do. It's like, no, this is about the house duties, literally. There's nothing else that you have to do. That is the thing. Don't make it seem like a small thing. Has he ever lived away from home? Like, what do these men do?
I don't know. Live in shitholes, I think, or don't have any stuff. I don't know.
Oh my God.
His mum probably comes around and takes the bin out.
Someone that I went out with,
I
think once lived with his friend, and they had a party one day and they just put bin bags over all the rubbish rather than taking the rubbish out.
I don't understand.
They put blankets over all the bin bags or something.
I don't understand. I still don't understand.
They hadn't taken out
before
rubbish.
The party.
There was just like bags of rubbish that they just like
hadn't taken
put
out.
A blanket over.
Instead of taking them out before the party.
Yes.
You went to that party.
I didn't go. I heard about it.
After?
Mm.
And you still...
Shut up.
I can't believe that.
This is normal behaviour from men.
That's fucking disgusting.
But that's Adrian. Because what the hell? Then we discover that he thinks that the bed is made by a magical hotel fairy. Well, I just thought it was like a hotel bed. What the fuck?
That was crazy. She was fuming.
Look,
poor Athena, but stop, just get away from him. And it's quite funny that in this, we've had the moment where Athena is Devo because she says to Adrian, oh, so have you opened up to Sierra as well? And he goes, yeah. Oh. Immediately, which was amazing. And like, it's just, again, another reason why she should leave him. But the next episode at the wedding, it's all hunky-dory. Everyone seems to be in their couples and no dramas.
Well, they didn't have Sierra and Adrian. They didn't have them.
They did. They had Sierra and Billy there.
And they had Afina and Adrian.
Yeah, they definitely had Afina. I don't know about Adrian, but they definitely had Afina because Afina spoke to Jacqui and Billy was criticising Jacqui. So they were
Sierra
there.
Was Sierra there?
Yeah, but she was very silent. So it's just interesting that was happening. But Adrian might have not been there at that point.
Yeah, I think maybe they've muddled it up a bit.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So Sierra and Billy, that was absolutely brutal. I feel like I called it a while back saying that she was quite cold when he was talking about his dad, and I felt like her reaction was cold. And now she's saying that, well, oh no, she's not saying that. He's saying he wants them to have a deeper emotional connection.
Yeah,
and he knows
I'm sorry, Billy,
that.
that we said floppy Billy. We thought that was the case, but it's making a bit more sense now.
I will say he was ridiculous in the massage scene, but now that I know that the thing that he thinks is lacking is like conversation, I can see why he might have been freaked out in that moment, and been like, why am I being faced with like her body when I would love it if she'd made a meal.
Could see her mind.
Well, yeah, he probably just wants to like paint some pottery or do something where you have do something where you're talking.
Yeah,
but he still acted like
too early.
Twit in that.
Yeah, he really did
in that situation.
So they had sex.
Oh God!
And then she called it a drunken fumble.
Oh my God!
That was so.
It was really.
That was cruel.
Really mean.
Yeah, because she was like, it was just a drunken fumble to me, and he was like, oh, I thought
in front of everyone.
I thought we connected. I thought we had an intimate.
I feel like
lovely. We had a passionate night, and she was like, she thought it was boring.
And I feel like that's telling everyone like it was quick in front of all the boys.
Oh, God.
That's what I read it as.
Oh, I read it as like slow and sensual.
Shit. She has absorbed the belief from culture that you're only being desired if someone is like grabbing you. I mean, obviously people like different flavors.
Yeah.
But like the kind of behavior that Adrian has, that's what she needs as proof that she is wanted, which is sad because
it's really sad.
He is a shit. Adrian is shit. I just can't believe she would have. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me that you opened up to Adrian because he was being empathetic and you trusted him. Like it.
That is insane. No. I also have sympathy for Billy because I think I learned through being with you that I'm not really a physical touch person, and that's something you love, having your hair played with or a little stroke on your leg or your arm or your hand, and I'm just not. I found it really hard to do. I think I've learned now. I'm better at it, but it's funny because like, well, from my perspective at least, I really love you, and that's me not doing that isn't indicative of me not loving you. It was just that I wasn't very good at showing my love in that way.
But I wouldn't want that from someone that I didn't have an emotional connection with as well.
Yes, that's true. Like, so that's why Billy isn't giving it, I guess.
I mean, he might also struggle with it, but if you're like talking only in a matey way, then it wouldn't. It doesn't make. I feel like the emotional stuff has to come first because the physical touch stuff is like once you feel safe, you want those little indications of feeling and love throughout the day.
Just when you're not having like intense conversation or
I felt really bad for him, and also just like, you know, what I was saying about the kind of approach she wants from someone who's like seducing her.
Yeah.
Obviously like hyper masculine, and Billy I think is quite sensitive and like a little bit metro, like even in his gestures, the way he was talking, which then made me think, oh my God, him and Afina would be perfect. I feel like he'd be such a good stepdad. He'd be really empathetic, but I don't know, maybe Afina would also, maybe she is just fatefully attracted to people like Adrian. I mean, she is really attracted to him, but like I wish I would have loved to see them get matched.
Yeah, it was just so brilliant as well how the experts knew to ask Sierra the question, have you opened up to anyone else?
God.
They must have known because
They must have been told by the cameramen about the foot tingle tangle.
Yes, very good, because that was just absolutely wonderful stuff.
I know, she was
just
so caught
panicked
out
and just said, yeah, actually open to Ash and Adrian.
I loved that scene.
It was crazy. I'm like, and also you're like, Adrian?
Yeah. Everyone in the room was like,
wall who said, I can't spell leave.
Yeah.
I only put stay because I don't know how to spell leave.
Charming.
Lovely.
So charming.
Poor Rafina being put on the spot when John was saying, do you want to be in a relationship with him? She wanted to say no.
She did. There was such a war.
I think
she
felt
was
like
sweating.
she wasn't good enough to say that she didn't want to be with him. I think she thinks she doesn't think she's good enough.
She needs to get over that.
Oh my God.
I loved that because we'd literally just watched for half an hour of Adrian acting like such a prat and John saying to him like, you always have to win an argument, don't you? No, I don't. Literally arguing with that. Arguing about always having to win an argument.
I'm so glad that all the people that deserve to get like called out were called out in this episode. It was really good stuff.
It was good.
He's just, I'm so angry whenever Adrian's on the screen. He just infuriates me. He's so rude.
No effort, no empathy.
No effort. He just has to sit there with his legs kind of a bit apart and just has thick hair and people think he's a sex god. He is not a sex god. I can fucking tell you now. He is not a sex god.
It's just his cocky stance, isn't it?
That's
his watch and just the way he holds himself.
It reminds me of Skins, the second generation from series 3 and 4, and there was that lesbian girl that was called Naomi, and Cook was like the sex god of the school. Yes, and he was like really cocky. And then she said this one line in it that was just so clunky, it was unbelievable that it always just stuck in my head. And she was like, you could staple your tongue to my clit and stand on a cement mixer and I'd never come. Something like that. And I was just like, that is just clunky.
What a horrendous
imagery.
Not something that anyone at school would say.
Obviously. And basically I'm just thinking Adrian is the Cook of the scenario, that's it. But Cook's actually a really good guy, so I don't really know what I'm getting at. This is how I feel about this is how I Daisy Grant feel towards Adrian. That statement.
No, I'm with you there. He is stinking minging. Absolutely stinking minging. And I think the flirtation might go under the radar for a bit now, but I think it will rear its head again.
Hopefully at the dinner party, that would be some good stuff. That's what I want to see.
Oh my God. So we're going to have a couple of new couples.
Yes. Well, we've got Beth and Teejay.
Yeah.
Who we've just met. I'm surprised she hasn't had a boyfriend before.
Me too. Confused by that.
I'm confused by that too.
I'm like, is she Christian? Weird. Does she live somewhere really far away with her parents?
Her dress was like too tight and silky. I don't think she'd be a Christian.
You get them all sorts of Christians though.
She's really pretty.
Yeah.
Conventionally. She seems nice.
Confident.
Normal.
Yeah.
So why? Because she lives with her parents?
Do you think the northern accent on a girl in Australia would be not liked?
I think that's giving Australian men too much credit.
Yeah, true.
They're not think that deeply.
They're not thinking about that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. TJ, okay.
Fine.
Sure. Don't like that.
Holiday park vibes he was giving me.
Yeah, holiday park. Is he giving you Danny Zuko?
No.
Oh, I just
meant clean.
I meant Danny Zuko on holiday with Sandy when he first met her.
No, less cool.
Okay.
Too clean cut.
Do you think Danny Zuko's cool?
Well, in a stupid kind of way.
Is he one?
He's cool in the film, isn't he?
The one with the really thick hair that pokes up?
No, T-Bird.
Okay.
Less cool. He's too clean.
One of the nerds. Okay, yeah, sorry. Anyway, I don't know why I'm trying to compare.
Why does he have to be from Greece?
I don't know. I don't know why. I was just thinking because you said he's in a holiday park.
Greece isn't a holiday park. And they're not even not in a holiday park.
Because a holiday park is a summer romance.
Yeah.
Those summer nights.
Do you ever have a summer romance at Butlins?
I think I was too little. I think it was quite...
Only with the one that sang Heidi, 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 oh. And that formed you.
That
Your musical
that
taste
shaped something in my brain. And I think that was the same night as Luck Be a Lady Tonight.
Oh.
Luck Be a Lady Tonight.
I can just
You would have
picture
loved
the
it.
cheap little hat that the person would have had on.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I bet they were giving the performance of their life.
Such a snob.
Well,
You know, I was quite happy yesterday when we were on a walk with our friends. Well, I was on a walk with our friends, and they were like, "Where's that Butlins?" And I was like, "Bognor Regis, Skegness." And I was like, "Anyone been to Pontins before?" It's shit. No one's ever been to Pontins.
I've heard of Pontins. That's the
Hell.
That's the shit one, isn't it?
That was the one where someone told me that her name was Kimberly Clark, which is what the toilet paper. When you go into a public toilet, there's Kimberly Clark, and only I would know.
I would never ever. You told me this story like waiting for my reaction. I was like, sounds like a normal name to have. How on earth did a 6-year-old take in that toilet roll is called Kimberly Clark?
How on earth did a 6-year-old take in every brand of car? It was like when we were hungover the other day driving, and our neurodivergences went into full pelt.
Diverted very far apart.
Yeah.
We have this issue. We do have this issue sometimes when driving anyway.
Yeah. When
you're driving and I'm in the passenger seat and you treat me a little bit like your PA, because
I do think that is your responsibility in the passenger seat. I do.
Suddenly there's 10 people to write emails to, songs to put on, blah, 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 blah. Which is fine. I do my best.
Looking at the number plate of a car next to you,
Yeah.
you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that number plate is about to come past again.
You're like, Mr. Sygate. I'm like, are you sneezing? What's going on?
Mr. Sygate.
And it's a car that's whizzed past.
Yeah.
Anyway, this particular day.
I see one of those cars that's like, it's like a Discovery or something. I wouldn't know. And they have all of the things on the side, or like the number plate on the side, and I'm always like, it looks like that.
Even that
and
sentence,
like, what?
my brain is stuck 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, so when I'm hungover, I think I'm finding it hard to filter out all of the things that I'm taking in.
Yes.
And I'm taking things in at a really quick speed when I'm driving.
Everything's just in there with no priority.
Yeah. That's what happened. I was like, this could be important.
Yeah.
It never is.
Whereas when I'm hungover, everything is too loud and too bright. I have to have the radio down low.
Stop being so slow.
My brain is just extremely slow.
I asked you to do a few things in a row and you were like, that's too many things, darling. I was like, just do them one after another.
No.
Right, immediately.
So then I have to take them all in and somehow put them into an order while holding them in my head.
Yeah.
Can you text my mum this? Put this song on. Skip that song. Put the MAFS off.
Yeah.
But then when we're not hungover, it's
It works. We balance
it's a nice
each other
balance.
out. Yeah. When we were out on Saturday as well, we were talking to some people who hate Paul and Karina.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised.
I'm not like raring to hang out with them, but I haven't seen anything super
they were
bad.
Like, I hate Paul. I was like, really? I was shocked. I don't think he was that bad. So it's making me look at him slightly differently now, because they were kind of like, you couldn't even say one single thing that they don't like about each other or something. And I was like, yeah, but when I was earlier in our relationship, I literally couldn't say a bad thing about you.
Maybe it's that, because I think I actually saw a comment. I think I saw some people at work talking about Paul in like the first episode when they got married. Maybe for straight girls, it's they've been triggered by the fact that he ghosted her in the first place, and that's just stuck with them.
Yeah.
Whereas, because that happens to girls all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas we've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That makes sense. I have managed to just forget that that's what happened,
Yeah.
because they seem to be getting on so well.
But
yeah,
I can see that would, stop you from trusting him in the future as a viewer.
Yeah.
Let us know, guys, what you think of him. And
let us be glad. Let us be grateful. Was that okay?
Was it good?
Good.
It was right. And
Yeah.
sign up to our Patreon if you want.
Yeah, you should do that. It's good.
Talking about films, talking about TV shows,
Yeah.
White Lotus, Severance,
Oh my God, yeah.
all
Severance.
of that good shit. And we've got a massive back catalogue of episodes
Yeah.
on all kinds of TV
Random
shows.
shit, films, loads of shit. We've also got a YouTube channel. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you want to see what we look like, you can go to the episode description and there'll be a link that you can listen to watch this podcast.
I think our YouTube,
Channel?
URL, what do you call it?
Yeah, is YouTube
YouTube handle
is at Doing the MAFS.
At Doing the MAFS.
So
you've got to put the at in, otherwise it doesn't work.
Have you learned that?
Yes.
So there's that, and then we've also got TikTok, and we've also got Instagram. So go follow us on there, show us some love, because we're trying our darndest.
Thank you guys. If you do sign up to the Patreon,
Daisy will send you a picture of her bum. No,
not
she
quite
won't.
that desperate yet.
I will be soon.
Oh, I thought you meant for my bum, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait, did you mean just in life? Yeah.
Yeah, I meant financially.
Apparently,
that laugh before.
Apparently, it's.
Sorry.
What do you mean?
I went. Please.
Apparently, it's better for us if you sign up to Patreon on a browser rather than on your iPhone, because Apple takes a big cut.
Because iPhone take money.
iPhone take the money.
Yeah, so
girls.
that means it's a waste of your money, because the more money is going to Apple, which they don't need. So sign up on a desktop if you can.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks when you all sign up to the Patreon. Do it that way.
We'll be back in a few days to talk about the rest of the episodes this week.
Can't wait.
Yay. Love you.
Bye.